I bought my wife a stunning red dress, then calmly exposed her affair with my brother-in-law at a family dinner and ended our marriage on my terms. My wife had been dropping hints about this particular dress for weeks, and I figured, why not? She deserved something special. 10 years of marriage, and I wanted to surprise her with something that would make her eyes light up the way they used to. The sales associate was wrapping it up when I heard that familiar voice behind me, my wife's best friend since college, the one who always seemed to appear at the most inconvenient moments. She approached with that fake smile she always wore. But something was different today. There was a malicious glint in her eyes that I'd never noticed before. "Oh, how sweet," she said, eyeing the dress box. "Getting something nice for her." "Just a little surprise," I replied, trying to keep the conversation short. Something about her tone made me uncomfortable. She stepped closer, lowering her voice just enough that the sales associate couldn't hear, but loud enough that the couple browsing nearby could catch every word. "You know, I really should mind my own business, but I can't stand watching you waste your money like this." I turned to face her fully. "What's that supposed to mean?" "Well," she paused dramatically, glancing around as if checking who might be listening. "We all know she's cheating on you. I mean, everyone's talking about it. I just figured you knew by now." The boutique suddenly felt smaller. The conversations around us seemed to quiet down, though that was probably just my imagination. The sales associate pretended to be busy organizing hangers, but I could tell she was listening. The couple nearby had stopped their browsing entirely. I kept my expression neutral, even though my mind was racing. "Is that right? I'm sorry. I really am. But someone had to tell you. She's been seeing him for months now. All those girls' nights out, those work dinners. Come on, you're smarter than that." The box in my hands suddenly felt heavier, not because of what was inside, but because of what it represented. All those times she'd been distant lately, the way she'd started dressing differently, how she'd become protective of her phone, the late nights at the office that never used to happen. "I appreciate your concern," I said calmly, my voice steady despite the storm brewing inside. "But maybe you should focus on your own relationship, instead of dissecting mine." She shrugged, that smug expression never leaving her face. "Just thought you should know. I mean, everyone else does." The sales associate cleared her throat, clearly uncomfortable. "Sir, would you still like to purchase the dress?" I looked down at the elegant box in my hands, a dress my wife would never wear with the innocence I'd imagined when I picked it out. My first instinct was to put it back, to walk out of there and confront her immediately. But then I realized something. If what her friend was saying was true, rushing home in anger would only give my wife time to prepare her lies. "Actually, yes," I said, pulling out my credit card. "But I think I'll hold on to it for the right occasion." Her friend raised an eyebrow, clearly expecting a more dramatic reaction. "That's it? You're not even upset?" I signed the receipt and looked her directly in the eyes. Why would I be upset about information I already knew? It was a lie, of course, but watching her face fall as she realized she hadn't delivered the devastating blow she'd hoped for was almost satisfying. She'd expected to see me crumble, to beg for details, to make a scene. Instead, she got nothing. "Oh," she stammered. "I just thought, you thought wrong," I said, taking the bag from the sales associate. "Thanks for confirming it, though. Always nice to know who your real friends are." I walked past her toward the exit, my mind already working through the implications. If everyone knew, that meant my wife had been careless, sloppy. And if she was being sloppy about hiding it, she was probably being sloppy about other things, too. As I reached my car, I realized I wasn't angry yet. That would come later. Right now I was calculating, planning, because if my wife thought she could make a fool out of me while I bought her expensive gifts, she was about to learn exactly how wrong she was. I placed the dress box in the passenger seat and started the engine. The drive home would give me time to think, to decide how to handle this. One thing was certain, though, that dress was going to play a role in whatever came next. Just not the role I'd originally planned. Walking through my front door felt different this time. The house looked the same, smelled the same, but everything had changed. I could hear her in the kitchen humming while she prepared dinner. The same tune she always hummed when she was in a good mood. Funny how that sound used to make me smile. "Hey, honey," she called out as I hung up my jacket. "How was your day?" I walked into the kitchen and watched her for a moment. Really watched her. She was wearing new earrings I didn't recognize, and her hair was styled differently than usual. Nothing dramatic, just different. The kind of different a woman makes when she wants to impress someone. "Interesting," I replied, setting the boutique bag on the counter deliberately where she could see it. Her eyes immediately went to the bag, and I caught something I'd never noticed before. A flicker of guilt, there and gone in an instant, followed by forced curiosity. "Ooh, what's that?" she asked, moving closer. Did you buy something for yourself? Actually, it's for you, but I thought I'd save it for a special occasion. She reached for the bag, but I gently pulled it back. What kind of special occasion? I shrugged, opening the refrigerator to grab a beer. Oh, you know, one of those occasions where we're being completely honest with each other. Her laugh sounded nervous. What's that supposed to mean? We're always honest with each other. I took a long sip of my beer, watching her over the bottle. Are we, though? When was the last time you told me exactly where you went on one of your girls' nights? What kind of question is that? She turned back to the stove, but I could see the tension in her shoulders. Why would I need to give you a detailed itinerary? I'm not asking for an itinerary, just curious about last Thursday, for example. You said you went to dinner with the girls, but when I called the restaurant to make a reservation for us next week, they said they don't take reservations on Thursdays. They're closed. Her stirring slowed. Maybe we went somewhere else. I don't remember every detail of every night out, right? And the work dinner on Tuesday. The one that kept you out until midnight. I happened to run into your boss at the gas station yesterday. He mentioned how much he enjoyed the company retreat last month, but didn't mention any recent work dinners. She set down the spoon and turned to face me. Are you keeping tabs on me now? That's pretty controlling behavior. There it was. The deflection. Turn the conversation around. Make me the bad guy for asking questions. Classic move. Not keeping tabs, I said calmly, just paying attention. Amazing what you notice when you actually listen. Listen to what exactly? I walked closer, leaning against the counter. To how you answer your phone now, how you angle it away from me when you text, how you've suddenly become interested in working late when you used to complain about staying past 5. Her face was flushing now. So what? I'm not allowed to have a life outside this house. I'm not allowed to have friends or work commitments without running them by you first. That's not what I said. That's exactly what you're implying. I stayed calm, which seemed to irritate her more. I'm not implying anything. I'm observing, like how you've been getting dressed up for grocery store runs, or how you started going to that new gym across town instead of the one 2 blocks away, or how your phone is suddenly password protected when it never was before. She opened her mouth to respond, then closed it. Opened it again. I have a right to privacy. Absolutely, just like I have a right to wonder why you suddenly need it. The timer on the oven went off, giving her an excuse to turn away. She pulled out a casserole dish with shaking hands, and I noticed she nearly dropped it. You're being paranoid, she said, not looking at me. Am I? Then prove it. Prove what? Show me your phone. The silence stretched between us. She set the casserole down and finally turned around. Her expression a mixture of indignation and something else. Fear, maybe. That's ridiculous. I shouldn't have to prove anything to you. You're right. You shouldn't. In a marriage built on trust and honesty, you wouldn't have to. What's that supposed to mean? I finished my beer and set the bottle down. It means exactly what it sounds like. If you have nothing to hide, then there's nothing to worry about. I'm not going to stand here and be interrogated in my own home. Your home? I raised an eyebrow. Interesting choice of words. She realized her mistake immediately. Our home? You know what I meant? Do I? Her phone buzzed on the counter. We both looked at it. She moved to grab it, but I was closer. Without thinking, she lunged for it at the same time I reached for it, and our hands collided. The phone skittered across the counter. Don't touch that. The vehemence in her voice surprised both of us. I straightened up slowly. Now, that's an interesting reaction. It might be work. At 7:30 at night, some of us have demanding jobs. I nodded thoughtfully. Right. Those demanding jobs that require midnight dinners at restaurants that are closed. She stared at me for a long moment, and I could practically see the wheels turning. She was trying to figure out how much I knew, how much I'd figured out. The problem for her was that I was just getting started. I think I'll skip dinner tonight, I said, picking up the boutique bag. Suddenly lost my appetite. As I walked toward the stairs, I heard her call after me. Where are you going with that? I stopped and looked back. Somewhere safe. Wouldn't want anything to happen to it before the right occasion comes along. The look on her face told me everything I needed to know. She wasn't just guilty, she was scared. And tomorrow, I was going to find out exactly what she was scared of. The next morning, I came downstairs to find her sitting at the kitchen table with her laptop and phone both face down. She looked like she hadn't slept much. Good morning, I said, pouring myself coffee. We need to talk, she said without looking up. Do we? About what? She finally raised her eyes to meet mine. About last night, about your accusations. I sat down across from her, cradling my coffee mug. I don't recall making any accusations. I asked questions. You practically accused me of cheating. Did I? I thought I was just pointing out some inconsistencies in your stories. She leaned forward. Look, I know I've been distant lately. I know I've been working more, but that doesn't mean what you think it means. And what exactly do I think it means? That I'm having an affair. I took a sip of coffee, letting the silence hang between us. Are you? No. The answer came too quickly, too loudly. How can you even ask me that? Pretty easily, actually. It's a simple yes or no question. It's insulting, is what it is. I pulled out my phone and set it on the table. Your friend was very helpful yesterday. Her face went pale. What friend? The one at the boutique. The one who felt I should know that everyone is talking about your affair. She stared at the phone like it might explode. She's lying. She's always been jealous of us. Jealous enough to make up something this specific? Yes, you know how she is. She's been trying to cause problems between us for years. I nodded slowly. So she just randomly decided to tell me my wife is cheating out of the blue. No basis in reality. Exactly. Then you won't mind if I call her right now and ask her for details. My hand moved toward the phone. She grabbed my wrist. Don't. Why not? If she's lying, she won't have any details to give me. Because I don't want you giving her the satisfaction. I gently removed her hand from my wrist. Or because you're afraid of what details she might have. That's not it. Then explain the closed restaurant. Explain the work dinners your boss doesn't know about. Explain the new gym, the new clothes, the password on your phone. She was quiet for a long moment. When she spoke, her voice was smaller. I can explain all of that. I'm listening. The restaurant thing. Maybe I got confused about which night we went. We went to several places that week. With who? The girls. Names? What? Give me names. If you went to several restaurants with the girls, tell me who was there. She opened her mouth, then closed it. Why does it matter? Because if you're telling the truth, it should be easy to remember who you spent time with. There was. She stopped, realizing she was digging herself deeper. I leaned back in my chair. Here's what I think happened. I think you've been seeing someone. I think you've gotten careless about covering your tracks. And I think you're sitting here trying to figure out how much I know, and whether you can still lie your way out of it. That's not. She stopped herself. Not what? Not true. Then prove it. Show me your phone. Show me your text messages. Show me your call log. I shouldn't have to prove anything to you. You're right. You shouldn't. But the fact that you won't tells me everything I need to know. She stood up abruptly. This is ridiculous. I'm not going to sit here and be treated like a criminal in my own home. Our home, I corrected. And you're not being treated like a criminal. You're being treated like someone who's been lying to her husband. I haven't been lying. Really? So when you said you were working late on Tuesday, that was true? Yes. And when you said you were having dinner with the girls on Thursday, that was true? Yes. And when you said you joined the new gym because it has better equipment, that was true? She hesitated. Yes. I pulled a piece of paper from my pocket and unfolded it. Then you won't mind explaining why your gym membership shows you haven't been there in 3 weeks. Or why your work key card shows you left the office at 5:15 on Tuesday. Or why your credit card statement shows a charge at a hotel restaurant across town on Thursday night. Her face crumbled. How did I get access to information about my own wife? Information that's on accounts I helped pay for. I stood up, keeping my voice level. The real question is how you thought you could keep lying when the evidence is sitting right in front of us. She sank back into her chair. It's not what you think. Then tell me what it is. We were just talking. It started as just friendship. Who is we? She was quiet. Who is he? It doesn't matter. It matters to me, someone from work, but it's not. We haven't. Haven't what? Haven't been sleeping together? Haven't been lying to me for months? Haven't been making me look like a fool while I buy you expensive dresses? We haven't been sleeping together. I laughed, but there was no humor in it. Right. You've just been having romantic dinners at hotel restaurants and lying about your whereabouts. Completely innocent. I know how it looks. How it looks. It looks like my wife is cheating on me and lying about it, because that's exactly what's happening. I never meant for it to go this far. And there it was. The admission I'd been waiting for. How far has it gone? It's just we connect. He understands me and I don't. It's different with him. I felt the anger building, but I kept it controlled. Different how? He listens to me. He pays attention to what I say. He makes me feel what? Alive. I stared at her for a long moment. And what exactly do I make you feel? She couldn't answer. I see. I picked up my phone and the paper with the evidence. Well, thank you for finally telling me the truth, even if it took a mountain of evidence to get there. Where are you going? To work. Some of us still honor our commitments. We need to talk about this more. I stopped at the doorway and looked back at her. Actually, we don't. You've told me everything I need to know. You're having an affair, you've been lying about it, and you blame me for not making you feel alive. Message received. That's not. I didn't mean it like that. Sure you did. And you know what? You're probably right. I probably did get complacent. I probably did stop making you feel special. I smiled, but it wasn't a pleasant smile. Good thing I'm about to fix that problem. The look of confusion on her face was almost worth the months of lies. Almost. It took me exactly 3 hours to find out who he was. Amazing what you can accomplish when you stop trusting and start investigating. The hotel restaurant charge on her credit card was the key. One phone call to a buddy who works there, and I had the reservation details. Table for 2 booked under a name I recognized immediately. My brother-in-law, her sister's husband, the guy who came to our barbecues, who borrowed my tools, who I'd helped move into his new house last year, who sat at our Thanksgiving table and carved the turkey while making jokes about family loyalty. I sat in my car outside his office building, watching him through the lobby windows. He was checking his phone constantly, probably texting her, probably coordinating their next lie about where they'd be and when. The pieces started falling into place. All those family gatherings where they'd seemed a little too friendly. How my wife always volunteered to help with their relationship problems. How he'd started showing up to things without his wife, claiming she was sick or busy. How my wife had suddenly become very interested in helping them work through their issues. I waited until he came out for lunch. He walked right past my car without noticing me, heading toward the sandwich shop on the corner. I followed at a distance, then approached just as he was ordering. "Well, if it isn't my favorite brother-in-law," I said, stepping up beside him. He turned, and I caught the flash of panic before he forced a smile. "Hey, what are you doing downtown?" "Oh, taking care of some business. Making some discoveries." He ordered his sandwich, hands trembling slightly. Discoveries. Amazing what you learn when you start paying attention. Like how some people have flexible definitions of family loyalty. The cashier handed him his order, and he gestured toward a table. "Want to sit?" "Absolutely. We have so much to catch up on." We sat across from each other, and I watched him unwrap his sandwich with unsteady fingers. He couldn't meet my eyes. "So," I said casually, "how are things with your wife?" "They're fine. Good. Better, actually. That's interesting because my wife tells me you two have been having problems. She's been very concerned about your marriage." "Oh, right. Well, we worked through some things." "When was that exactly?" "Because she was just telling me yesterday how worried she is about you, how much time she's been spending trying to help you figure things out." He took a bite of his sandwich, buying time. "I appreciate her concern. I'll bet you do. Tell me, when you two get together to discuss your marital problems, where do you usually meet?" "What do you mean?" "Well, she's been going out a lot lately to help you." "I'm just curious where these counseling sessions take place." "Different places. Coffee shops. Mostly coffee shops, right?" I pulled out my phone and showed him the credit card statement. "Like this coffee shop, the one that serves dinner until midnight and has hotel rooms upstairs." All the color drained from his face. "Here's what I find fascinating," I continued, keeping my voice conversational. "You're supposed to be helping each other save your marriages, but somehow you both ended up risking them instead. That's some impressive problem solving. Look, I can explain. Can you? I'd love to hear this explanation. Start with how helping your wife understand you better somehow required lying to both of our spouses. It's not what you think, really, because I think my wife has been sleeping with her sister's husband. I think you've both been using your supposed marital problems as cover for an affair, and I think you've been doing it for months." He set down his sandwich. "We never meant for it to happen, but it did happen. It's complicated." "No, it's really not. You're attracted to each other. You acted on it and you've been lying about it ever since. The only complicated part is figuring out how to clean up the mess you've made." "Are you going to tell her sister?" I leaned back in my chair. "That's an interesting question. Are you going to tell her yourself?" I don't know. Let me help you with that decision. You're going to tell her today because if you don't, I will. You can't watch me. In fact, let's call her right now." I started dialing. "Wait." He grabbed my wrist. "Please don't do this over the phone." "Then how do you suggest we handle it?" "Let me talk to her in person tonight. I'll tell her everything." I studied his face. "Everything?" "Yes." "Including how long it's been going on?" "Yes." "And how you've been using me to provide alibis?" He looked confused. "All those times you told your wife you were helping me with projects while you were actually with my wife." "Yeah, I figured that out too." His shoulders sagged. "How did you?" "Because I'm not stupid." Naive, maybe. Trusting, definitely, but not stupid. I stood up. You have until tomorrow night to tell her. If you don't, I'll be having a very interesting conversation with your wife at the family dinner this weekend.
The family dinner?
Oh yes, the one where we all sit around the table and pretend to be one big happy family. Should be particularly memorable this time. I started to walk away, then turned back.
One more thing. If you contact my wife before you talk to yours, if you try to coordinate your stories or warn her about anything, I'll make sure everyone in both families knows exactly what kind of man you are. Your choice.
He sat there staring at his untouched sandwich as I walked away. By the time I reached my car, he was on his phone, probably calling her to panic about getting caught. Perfect. Let them scramble. Let them worry about what I knew and what I planned to do about it, because tomorrow night's family dinner was going to be very educational for everyone involved. And that expensive dress was finally going to serve its purpose, just not the way anyone expected. I got home that evening to find my wife pacing in the living room like a caged animal. Her phone was clutched in her hand, and she'd obviously been crying. The moment I walked through the door, she rushed toward me. "We need to talk," she said, her voice shaky again. "We seem to be doing a lot of talking lately. Please sit down. Let me explain everything." I hung up my jacket and walked to my chair, the same one I'd sat in for 10 years of marriage. "I'm listening." She perched on the edge of the couch, wringing her hands. "I know you talked to him today." "Did I? How would you know that?" "He called me. He's panicking. He thinks you're going to destroy both our marriages." Interesting choice of words. Destroy. As if they weren't already destroyed. That's what I want to talk about. Our marriage isn't destroyed. It can be fixed. I leaned back, studying her. Can it? Yes. What happened with him? It was a mistake. A huge mistake. But it's over now. When did it end? Today. After he called me. We both agreed it was wrong, and we're ending it. So, it ended today because you got caught. Not because it was wrong. No, that's not. We knew it was wrong. We just didn't know how to stop. Right. You were trapped in a pattern of lying and sneaking around, completely helpless. She moved to the chair across from me, leaning forward earnestly. I know how it sounds, but I'm telling you the truth now. It's over. We can move past this. Move past it. How? Counseling, therapy, whatever it takes. I'll do anything to save our marriage. I nodded thoughtfully. Anything? Yes, absolutely anything. Show me your phone. She hesitated for just a moment, then handed it over. I scrolled through her recent messages. Lots of deleted conversations, but I could see the timestamps. Messages sent and received right up until this afternoon. You deleted everything, I observed. I wanted to start fresh. How convenient. I handed the phone back. What about the family dinner this weekend? What about it? Are we still going? I don't know. Maybe we should skip it this time. Give things time to settle down. Or maybe we should go face the family together. Show them we're working through our problems. Do you think that's wise? Why wouldn't it be? Unless you're worried about something. She bit her lip. He's going to tell his wife tonight. Good. Honesty is always the best policy. What if she doesn't take it well? What if she doesn't? That's between them, isn't it? But the family dinner will be interesting, I'm sure. She stood up and started pacing again. Maybe we should tell them ourselves. Control the narrative. What narrative would that be? That we hit a rough patch, but we're working through it. A rough patch. Is that what we're calling adultery now? It wasn't adultery. We never what? Never kissed, never touched, never spent intimate evenings together in hotel restaurants. It wasn't like that. I stood up and walked to the window. You know what's funny? I almost believe you. I think you actually convinced yourself that what you were doing wasn't really cheating. As long as you didn't cross some arbitrary line you drew in your head. It was just friendship. It was friendship that got complicated. Complicated enough that you lied to me for months I didn't want to hurt you. I turned to face her. So you decided to humiliate me instead. That was never my intention, but that's what happened. While I was buying you expensive gifts and planning romantic surprises, you were sneaking around with my brother-in-law. Do you have any idea how that makes me look? No one knows. Everyone knows. Your friend made that very clear yesterday. She sank onto the couch. What do you want me to do? I can't change what happened. No, you can't. But you can face the consequences. What consequences? I walked to the closet and pulled out a suitcase. Well, for starters, you can explain to your family why your marriage fell apart. What are you doing? Packing. I'm going to stay at a hotel for a few days. Give us both some space to think. You don't have to do that. I'll stay somewhere else. No, I think it's better this way. You stay here and think about what you really want, and I'll think about whether I want to be married to someone who finds it so easy to lie to me. I don't find it easy. It's been killing me, but not enough to stop. She didn't have an answer for that. I continued packing, choosing items carefully. She watched from the doorway, tears streaming down her face. What about the family dinner? What about it? Are you still planning to go? Wouldn't miss it. It's going to be very enlightening. Please don't make a scene. I stopped packing and looked at her. Make a scene? Me? I'm not the one who's been conducting a secret relationship with a family member. I just meant, I know what you meant. You want me to protect you from the consequences of your choices. Help you maintain the illusion that everything's fine. I want us to handle this privately. It stopped being private when you involved him. And it definitely stopped being private when everyone started talking about it. I zipped up the suitcase and headed for the door. Where are you going? I told you, hotel. I'll be back Sunday after the family dinner. Why Sunday? Because by then everyone will know the truth, and we'll see how you handle that. I walked toward the door, then stopped. Oh, one more thing. That dress I bought you, the expensive one, you might want to think about when you'd like to wear it. What do you mean? I mean, it's going to be perfect for a very special occasion. I'm just not sure you're going to like what we're celebrating. The look on her face told me she was starting to understand that I wasn't just leaving temporarily. I was planning something that would change everything. And she was absolutely right. Sunday evening arrived, and I walked into that family dinner carrying 2 gift bags. The tension in the room was thick enough to cut with a knife. My sister-in-law sat at one end of the table, her eyes red from crying. Her husband sat as far away from her as possible, staring at his plate. My wife kept glancing between them nervously. Well, I announced, taking my usual seat. This is cozy. My wife shot me a warning look. Maybe we should just have a quiet dinner. Quiet? On such a momentous occasion, I smiled broadly. I brought gifts. I placed the first bag in front of my sister-in-law. For you, because you deserve to know the truth about the people closest to you. She opened it slowly and pulled out a folder containing printed screenshots of hotel charges, text message timestamps, and restaurant receipts. All the evidence I'd gathered over the past few days. What is this? She whispered. Proof that your husband has been having an affair with my wife for the past 4 months. The silence was deafening. My brother-in-law started to speak, but I held up a hand. Your turn comes later. I placed the second bag in front of my wife. And for you, my dear devoted wife. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Inside was the expensive red dress, along with an envelope. Go ahead, I encouraged. Read it out loud. She pulled out the papers with shaking hands. It's a plane ticket. One way, I clarified helpfully, to wherever you want to start your new life, because you're right. You do deserve to feel alive, just not in my house. You can't be serious. Dead serious. I've also included divorce papers already filed. And before you ask, yes, I have copies of everything in that folder. Adultery makes divorce proceedings much simpler. My brother-in-law finally found his voice. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. You both thought you could have your cake and eat it too. Well, congratulations. You can have each other, just not while destroying 2 families in the process. My wife was crying now. We can work this out. We don't have to do this publicly. Publicly? I looked around the table. This is family. They deserve to know who they're really dealing with. I stood up, straightening my jacket. The divorce will be final in 90 days. The house is mine, as are most of the assets, thanks to the prenup you forgot about. Your ticket is for Tuesday morning. Where am I supposed to go? That's not my problem anymore. Maybe your boyfriend can help you figure it out. Oh wait, he's going to be dealing with his own divorce. I walked toward the door, then turned back one last time. You know what the funny thing is? I really was going to buy you that dress to make you feel special, to show you how much I loved you. Instead, I'm giving it to you as a going-away present. My sister-in-law spoke for the first time. How long have you known? About a week. But looking back, I should have seen it months ago. Amazing how blind love can make you. I headed for the door, leaving behind the chaos I'd orchestrated. Outside, I took a deep breath of fresh air. For the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe freely. My phone buzzed. A text from my wife, please come back, we can fix this. I deleted it without responding. Some things couldn't be fixed, but they could be ended with dignity. The expensive dress would remind her of the choice she made, and the plane ticket would give her the freedom she claimed she wanted. Sometimes the best gift you can give someone is exactly what they asked for. Our story has come to an end. If you've made it this far, how about subscribing to our channel? It helps us immensely. I've selected 2 other videos for you that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Feel free to click on them. I'll be waiting for you in the next story. See you soon.
Suck your pussy is a weird diss. I know, dude. I fucking wish someone would. I fucking wish someone would. Oh, pack. Oh! Whoa, legendary crafting materials. Did full body and we feeling good. Full body workout. Sheesh. Mats is probably better. I mean, it depends though, I guess. But yeah. How much is a legendary skin? $1,200. Okay, so it's just not quite enough. Hell yeah, legendary crafting mats. Fuck yeah, dude. 800. So it's 2/3 of a legendary skin. I don't think I actually care.
My friend.
Hello, my friend.
Hello, yeah.
Hello, my friend.
Yeah, Mika talking to me.
Imagine getting a banner for someone you don't own. It's a good point. It's a good point, but also, do I really care? I think that's where I'm at. I just don't actually care.
Friend?
At this point, I'd just rather have anything.
Hey,
Am I supposed
are you
to say more
listening?
stuff?
Where you come from?
I'm from Australia.
Yeah. It's great.
It is. Where are you from?
I'm from Asia.
Where in Asia? Asia's very big.
I'm from Asia, okay?
Okay. Dude, yeah, he's on a connect bike 3 years away. But he's friendly.
This is your champion.
Hello, my friend. I am from Asia. I got a feeling he's not from Asia, by the way.
I'm the jump master. This is the exciting part.
Pass the jump master around.
Stay on me. I'm the jump master. Hold on tight. It's time to drop, shock, and rock.
Holy shit, turbine drop. I didn't know people still did this. I like half burped, half died. Oh. What the fuck?
You think we're gonna win or not? My brother.
Easy win, easy win.
Yeah.
Are we gonna win or not, my friend?
Now my weapon's enhanced, just like me.
First blood. Gotta be someone. No, it's not one of us. Round one.
Enhance my weapon to enhance my survival. See, Mom?
Someone pick that bolt up.
Already in the next ring. Take a break, your old. That's a spot in my sights.
Hey, where are you
Champion's
from?
out.
Where are you from?
Champion of
I'm
what?
from Asia. And where are you from?
Weapon in hand. Ain't that pretty?
America.
Yeah.
Attention.
America, wow.
Here. Fifth blend. So grab an extended mag.
It's too much nigga in America.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good, good.
Extended light mag here.
New kill leader.
Level 3.
Watch your six.
Where are you from? Asia. Where are you from? America.
Weapons looking fine.
Where sounds dead.
R301 here. Got some extra supplies here. You're welcome.
I see. This is the problem with this drop. I just don't know where to go.
Mark them on your map.
Mid-range. Good work. We're inside the next ring.
Fight night.
An extended supply bin there. Take what you need.
They're coming in.
Stock here. Level 2.
enemy
Hemlock
over here.
here. Elite.
In this room.
Where?
I've spotted an enemy.
Watch your backs.
Reloading.
Ran out. He just ran out.
Hey, spotted. Extra supplies here. I'll share.
Okay, Bangalore one. And I don't know.
No stocks, no scopes. It's crazy.
I think I got
Hey, spotted
outside.
here. Shotgun bolt here. Level 3.
Bolts increase rate of fire. Shield. Give my shields a recharge.
Oh no! It's not good. Nice, man. Okay. Nice eye, brother. It's good.
Nice tie. And there was 2 teams? Of course, dude. I can't believe that they were just sitting up there, like, on the hill, looking at the hole, waiting. That one guy baited hella well. He got cracked. He actually just, like, started running down the hill. So as soon as I go up, I don't, like, try and check to make sure I'm not going to get beamed. Bit of an oops by me. Probably should have been able to one-clip that one guy as well that I was shooting with the R99. Don't know if I missed too much or not. Oh well. Oh well. Just a bit of a laugh, a bit of fun. Nice try. My friend. A laugh? A little laugh. Ooh, ah, ah, oh.
Speed isn't life. It just makes life go faster.
Congratulations.
Dude, give me some fucking fusey, dog. Fuck it. You looking fly, son. Thanks. Now you got me looking self-conscious and judging myself.
Champion.
You know what? Not a bad Band-Bay day. Cutting my hair short again recently was a good idea. Whilst I was cutting it, I was almost doing an Ez. Almost went full bald.
I'm Jump Master. Don't worry, kids.
But I managed to fucking keep my sanity and talk myself out of it.
I'm calling the ball. Let's land over.
I got off a rock I was sitting off in a really dumb way and grazed my leg a bit.
Fusey will catch you when you fall.
Oh, really? Wait, what? You got off a rock that you were sitting on weird. Out on an adventure. 6 in dropship, by the way, and we haven't even crossed halfway in the map.
Beauty of a view, eh? Let's rock and roll.
These guys are gonna land on us. We care.
Enemy landed by me. Watch yourselves, pups.
Attention. Blood. First blood. Imagine crashing and burning on takeoff.
Next ring's far. You lot aren't getting tired, are you?
Taking fire.